on the airwaves of Fun Asia Radio 104.9 FM. Good morning, Pallavi. How are you?
A wonderful morning to you, Meetu. I'm doing very well. Thank you for hosting me. It is Wednesday morning and it is your business matters, and this is where we answer questions on the air for anybody that has any questions for us and provide any updates that I think may be relevant to the listeners and their previous questions and some responses to those as well. So, Meetu, and before we start taking calls, I did want to talk real quick because this is a question I think I've heard maybe a few times. And this is for students who are applying for the H-1B, but the universities have lost accreditation or they've had some trouble with accreditation. Now, we also know that there was a credentialing agency, which was ACICS, which is, this was an agency which a lot of schools had used for their credentials. And at this point, that accrediting agency is no longer recognized by the Department of Labor. So there were a lot of questions. Do people who have master's degrees from such universities, are they eligible to file in the master's exemption, or do they really have to just file under the regular cap? This was a question that was given to USCIS, and the notes that we have back from them is that they're still checking into this, which is kind of sort of a little disconcerting because the cap opens up in the next, 11 days, 10, 11 days. Yeah. And at this point, for us to say that they're still checking into it, my thought right now and my advice to people who are about to file is please file under the bachelor's cap. Do not file under the master's exemption, because you don't want to be selected, get lucky, get selected in the lottery, and then end up getting your petition denied. And this may be a matter that is still going to get settled in, but for right now, I think this is causing a concern to a lot of people. So there has been an opinion that if you got your degree at a time where the university was credentialed, then you should not have. You should be able to still call it a master's degree. The schools that people got their degrees from are standing by and saying you still have a master's degree, but the issue that we're seeing is from USCIS, still not recognizing it. So I would say go for the bachelor's cap. Forget about masters for right now. The point is, if you get selected in the lottery, it is to get yourselves approved. That being said, I think I have another quick update for people who are lawful permanent residents that are coming into the port of entry. Now, you have to understand that once you return to the U.S. from travel abroad, you as a lawful permanent resident, all green card holders, let's call that generically, have due process rights, including right to a hearing before an immigration judge before you can be stripped of your permanent resident status. So if somebody, and we've had one parent that this had happened to, and this was, if I remember, this had happened at Abu Dhabi by CBP, and for people like that, you have to request a hearing before an immigration judge. Do not sign off on any 407, which is a form that is provided to you to sign off on your lawful permanent residence. Please do not sign off on that. Now, LPRs do enjoy a greater due process rights than non-immigrants when you're returning, and but they are subject to inspection by CBP, and CBP can question you, screen you, whether they determine that you're a returning resident or whether you should be treated as an arriving alien, which means that you've been out of the country too long, and now that you're seeking admission, they're trying to determine whether you were just another non-immigrant or you're actually a returning resident. So those, if you've been absent from the country for a continuous period in excess of 180 days, this is an alarm that is going off for me, saying do not do that. Please try and re-enter the country before the 180 days are over. Be returning residents, and please don't be people that they can look at and say, oh, these are just visitors, they just come for a few months a year. And though that was acceptable earlier, CBP is a different agency. agency currently, and you have to be prepared to deal with them. But I think you cannot just agree to sign off on anything that they're saying. You have to ask for a hearing very respectfully in front of an immigration judge.
Great word of advice there, Pallavi. I'm sure many were helped by that. And if you have any questions right now for Pallavi, go ahead and give us a call, 972-235-5555. Pallavi, are you there? I think we dropped that on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Hi, Pallavi. Thanks for the call. I'm in right now in H1B. I would like to know, after April 1st, how long the premium process has been stopped, like till what date?
It's a generic announcement saying up to 6 months.
Up to 6 months?
I mean, and if they said if they get caught up with the backlog, they may reinstate it a bit earlier. But right now they're talking about up to 6 months.
Okay, so in that 6 months, my understanding is they won't accept premium processing for due as well as extension as well as
transfers. Right.
Yeah, transfer or due H1B or I-140 green card or everything, right?
Correct.
Okay, and my another question is, right now I'm in H1B and in my LCA it states like the minimum wage is $60,000 per year. So it means every month my employer should pay the minimum of $5,000, or is it like my employer has to pay on a yearly minimum 60%? Is it like monthly he should maintain the...
Yeah, very, very good question. Wonderful. Okay, so let me just tell you how this works. So the promise to pay is an annual salary, but a lot of times when people have benching times and they are not being paid, the US DOL comes back and finds a violation. So if you were to be, or the employer were to be audited by the wage department for H1Bs, and I'm talking about the LCA compliance, you may have an issue. And the issue would be if you're not consistently being paid. So basically they're expecting a payment of, say, for example, $5,000 per month, or, if it is a bi-weekly payment, then the bi-weekly payment should happen every 2 weeks as it happens. Though the promise is for the annual wage, and a lot of employers think it's okay at some point the person will get caught up. That is not allowed if that is audited, because they want to see consistency of payment.
Okay, so it means if it's 60,000, they have to pay minimum 5,000 every month.
Correct. Yeah, they should be.
They should be. Okay.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for your call. 972-235-5555. Number in the studio. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Going on to our next caller, and do want you to turn off your radio before you ask your question, please. Fun Asia Radio, you are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Pallavi. This is Vinod here. I have a question on H4EAD. My wife is currently working in India. She wants to quit and come over here to apply for H4EAD.
Okay.
So is it advisable at this time to do that, considering the recent developments in H4EAD space?
Well, that is one of the categories that is the extra authorization that we are hearing that the administration wants to remove and revoke from President Obama's announcements and his allowance for this. At this point, there is no announcement, but yes, it is possible that it would be on the chopping block, unfortunately.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question. I have currently only 6 to 7 months on my H1B. So is it okay for her to apply with this time limit of 6 months, and then when my H1 is extended, her to go and get her H4EAD extended as well, second time?
It may just be better for her to do it together. with that because the processing time of an H4 or any EAD currently is for 180 days. And at that time, your status may be able to, may not be there, right? So by the time that we adjudicate that application, it's important that you do it, even if you're doing it now, where you're she comes in on an H4 and she's got just 6 months on her I-94. For her and you both to extend it together along with the H4 EAD. Now you have to understand one thing, the premium processing service is not going to be used for the next 6 months. So you and she may both be stuck in this longer processing queue anyway.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for answering that. Yes.
Thank you for your call. Moving on to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, I had a quick question. If I have my I-140 approved right now, and I want to switch employers, and I'm in the 4th year of my H-1B. So, what happens if my current employer, the I-140 from my new employer does not get approved by the time my 6 years expire? So, can I still file for another extension on the approved I-140?
Yes. So that has been allowed to you now. So if your I-140 has been approved for over 180 days, that's not only your date as a priority date, of course, to file for an adjustment of status based on that, you will need your next employer to also get the perm as well as the I-140 approved. That being said, the I-140 that you have from a previous employer is eligible for you to use for H-1B extensions past your 6 years.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your call. 972-235-5555 number in the studio. And if you want to get in touch with Pallavi beyond the show, you must take an appointment. 972-361-0606 is their number. aluvalialaw.com is their website. Going on to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hey, hi. My name is Ram, and I just graduated from Northwestern Polytechnic University.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep 2 H-1Bs for this term. So one from my company and one from the outside. So will there be any chances? I mean, like I need to track the H-1B.
So you're having 2 offers of employment currently, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And both the employers, so the USCIS has given instruction that the same employer cannot file 2 cases for 1 employee, right? Now, they have not come down to say that the same employee cannot have 2 H-1Bs or 2 job offers for them. That has not been said. And again, we don't understand this to be an issue yet, but it may be. So what we advise people that are getting 2 job offers is you're allowed to have 1 full-time job and 1 part-time job. So have the first one done as full-time and have the second one done as a part-time job offer, and then you should be all right.
Okay, so it's a different client, and one is full-time job. I'm working as a full-time now. That is fine.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. So it's cleared my doubts. And the second question is like my OPT ends in May 22nd, and when I wanna file H-1B and it picks up, I can work till October 1st. Am I right?
Yes, you'll have to, once you get a receipt of your H-1B, if you've been selected in the lottery, so here is my request to you. If it is that you get selected both places, right, just go with the one and have the other one withdrawn, because then that will leave no liability unless you're really wanting to work the 1.5 times that we're talking about in terms of the hours. Now, once you have your receipt from any one of these, you would have to take it to the school, and the school will mark your application, your I-20 for CAP. And with CAP, you can also remain employed.
Okay, that's fine. And one more question: if my H1 doesn't, if my H1 picks, and because of some queries, my H1 got dropped down, and what is my status after that?
Yeah, so basically, if you were to get an H-1B denied, then you would be immediately found to be out of status and you'll have to leave the country.
So there is no option to get into like your college, university and all these things.
Correct, no.
Okay.
All right, thank you for your call. Going on to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
I want to ask, I have a green card. Do you think it's safe to travel right now?
Yes, I mean, there are no issues. You've been staying here, correct, on your green card? You're a resident?
Yes,
You live here, this is your home? Yes.
Yes, I want to go back home.
Yes, if you're going back home, for how long are you gone?
Maybe like 20 days.
Yeah, you're fine. No issue.
It's fine. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your call. 972-235-5555, number in the studio. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Going on to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, I have a question that I have a deportation order, and I need to know is there any relief for me? My kid's going to be 18. It's going to be turning 18. So I was wondering if that could be a relief.
No, not till they're 21.
Not till 21. What about my wife? Can she file a hardship on her because she doesn't have any case?
She does not have any? What, sorry?
She don't have any case, open case. If she can apply
what's your
for...
status?
She don't have any status right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think if until you have some benefit that would immediately convert, you cannot use it for the future. Say, for example, if there is a pending application that anyone has filed for you, and especially, a U.S. citizen, even a 21-year-old who just immediately files, that would be considered as relief once that I-130 is approved. But if it's not there, then I would not even bring it up because at this point there is no relief from it. So you have to have something that you use to remove, to be able to get out of the deportation proceedings. And at this point, with the kids still about three years away, there is nothing that you can use.
Nothing? Oh, okay. All right.
All right?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you so much for your call. Moving on, Fun Asia Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Yes, hi. My sister is on a student visa here. Her student visa expired a couple years ago. She just didn't get a chance to leave the country and have it renewed or anything. But now my sister's getting married in India, and she wants to know, she's currently enrolled and has a valid I-20. I was wondering if it would be okay for her to travel, and then while she's out back in India to reapply for a student visa, and what are the chances of being accepted or denied?
Okay, so what I didn't understand was, she was a student here prior? Did you say that?
Yes. So she had a 5-year student visa. She finished her bachelor's, and now she's doing her master's, but obviously in the meanwhile, the student visa expired.
Okay, so here is my question. What kind of a school is she pursuing her master's with? Because if it is a private small university, number one. Number two, that it has lost its credentials because of the ACICS issue. Will that have trouble for her? I'm sorry?
She goes to Berkeley.
She goes to Berkeley, okay. So with a state school like that and something that is well known, she should not have an issue. But there is discretion on part of the government for two reasons. That is her financial strength back in the home country and her emotional ties back to the home country. So as long as she can prove that she has the ability to pay for her schooling, and then she would return back to the to her home country, which is India, I understand. She has a family back home, and she also has money back home for her to go back. That would be the assessment. And if she can satisfy that, she should be all right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right?
Thank you very much. We have like 2 minutes to go. We'll take a quick call, probably one last call before we wind up the segment. All right, you are the last caller probably. Your question has to be really, really quick. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Afroza. I just want to know about the adoption.
What do you want to know, ma'am?
Actually, I have my 3 kids. I just wanted to adopt my brother. And is that possible? I can do it?
Yeah, how old is the kid?
10 years.
Okay, so the age is right. So there are conditions. So there has to be, this is a 3-step process. The adoption process abroad, getting it recognized here in the family law courts as well would be the 3rd step, and in the middle would be the immigration, right? So it has to go through those 3 steps. Once adoption has been able to get completed abroad, then you would find the eligibility for the immigration matter, and then the move here and going through, a home study here and to be able to get the court to approve it here. So those are the 3 steps on a broad level.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
All right?
Yes.
All right, thank you all for your calls, and thank you so much, Pallavi, for doing it every Wednesday for our community here.
Of course, a pleasure, and thank you so much, Meetu, for hosting me so well as always. And I look forward to being back next Wednesday.
Have a good day.